You are always using the law of assumption, whether you realize it or not. You are assuming a truth. You are assuming a feeling all the time. Every moment of your life, you're doing this. And whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously is up to you. But when you start to take control and assume a feeling, assume a truth consciously, you start to align with what it is you want. You start to manifest that life that you're dreaming of. Hey guys, I'm Dina and welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking about the law of assumption. And controlling your assumptions is key to manifesting the life that you want. And your assumptions are just what you believe to be true. You're always doing this. You're always assuming some truth about your life or about yourself, whether it be that I'm wealthy or that I'm not wealthy, or that I'm healthy and fit or that I'm not healthy and fit, or that I'm capable of being loved or I'm unlovable. And when you want to start manifesting a different life for yourself, you have to align with that version of you. You have to assume that persona. You have to step into the shoes of that version of you, because you're currently assuming something that's creating your current reality. So let's just take a step back here and talk about that. So your current reality is a manifestation of a previous past self-identity. It's what you believed was true at one point in your life. And that belief and that self-identity, what you assumed to be true, created the life that you're living now. And so to create this other life, this other version of you, you have to assume that identity. And once you start assuming that identity, that truth, and believing it to be true, you'll create this alternate other manifestation of your reality. But your 3D reality right now is just an assumption of a previous self-identity. But to manifest a new life, a new version of yourself, you have to ignore your current 3D reality, because your current experiences are an old past identity. It's an old manifestation. It doesn't mean what's possible for you. It's just a shadow of a previous version of yourself, a previous past self-identity. Because there's a lag time, you see, from what you're believing and assuming to be true to what you're experiencing in life. What you're creating in your inner world with your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs, you then experience. But there's a time difference between what you're creating inside of you to when you're experiencing it. So if you're looking at your bank account and you're focusing what's in there right now versus what you want to be in there, you have to choose what you're going to consciously believe to be true. Because remember, what you're experiencing right now is just a lag shadow effect of a previous self-identity. Maybe you previously felt lacking. Maybe you felt not good enough, not worthy of money. So the experience and the reality you created was one of not having money, being broke, or having lots of bills or financial difficulties. But when you want to shift to an abundant, wealthy version of yourself, you start assuming that you're wealthy. You start believing that is the truth. And then your 3D reality reflects that. But there's that lag time. So you have to be patient. You have to keep believing. And you have to assume that it is true without a doubt in your mind. Think about wealthy people. They believe in their self-identity that they are abundant, that they are wealthy. Even if someone took all of their money away from them in the 3D reality, all of a sudden they're broke. In their core, in their self-identity, wealthy, abundant people, they find their way back to wealth. They don't change their self-identity and align with being poor now. Most of them, this isn't always true, but I'd say most of them stay in that alignment of feeling wealthy, because that is their self-identity. That is who they are. And they find a way to stay wealthy. They keep manifesting that reality for themselves. And the opposite could be true. If someone loses a lot of weight, but they haven't aligned the identity of someone who's fit, their mental state is still that I'm overweight. They haven't changed who they are at the core. They haven't believed to be worthy of this new body. They will find their way back to being overweight again. Or someone who was, poor and became wealthy, but they didn't change their mindset to someone who's abundant and wealthy, they can become poor again. Because all you're ever doing is creating your reality from your inner world, your self-beliefs. You have to be able to say, this is me now. And then your reality will align and shift with that belief. Okay, so hopefully now you have a better understanding of the law of assumption and what you're assuming to be true right now. And if you're thinking in your mind, okay, I want to be wealthy, I want to be, free, abundant, but I don't know what that feels like, Dina. The current reality I'm experiencing is one of lacking. And that comes from, a self-identity I had in the past, but I don't know how to change it. How do I change who I believe I am when I look around and this is all I ever see? And bills keep piling up, and I'm wondering, how am I supposed to align with an abundant person when I'm constantly panicking and freaking out about money? And my advice to you is to realize that your 3D reality right now is irrelevant. Stop focusing on that. Because when you focus on the lack of what you have, the lack of what you want for that matter, you're just creating more lack. And so we have to shift it to assuming the feeling of what it is you want. And so I have an exercise for you. Pretend I'm a genie right now, genie in a bottle, and I'm coming to you, and I'm going to snap my fingers, and I'm going to give you the life that you want. Whatever it is you want, I can do it for you right now. I'm just going to snap my fingers and poof, you have it. So think about what it is you want, whether it's abundance, freedom, wealth, security, a loving relationship, maybe you want that perfect body, and all of these things, whatever it is you want, think about them, imagine them, and now I'm going to snap my fingers and they are yours. Now, you're in that reality. You're in that perfect body. Walk around. It feels so amazing. You feel so confident instantly. You look in the mirror and you're like, wow, that's me? That is my dream self. Or you're in your dream home instantly, and it's yours. It belongs to you. Or your dream car, you're driving it. Now think about what is different. What do you assume to be true in this version of you? When you shift your self-concept to this version of you that has everything you want, what starts to change is your self-belief. What you assume to be true. What you assume is possible for yourself. Because if you are in that body, you are in that life of ideal you, the highest version of you, you would think differently. You would assume your reality to be different. And that's what I'm talking about when you get into alignment with the highest version of you. You basically step into that reality that I created for you when I snapped my fingers. You step into it and you assume that that is you now. And what happens is you start behaving differently. You start believing that different things are possible for you. Instead of focusing on lack, you focus on, wow, I could create anything I want with all this money. I could start investing. You start thinking like a wealthy person. You start thinking like a person who is in shape. You start thinking about the outfits you want to wear and how you're going to carry yourself. And maybe you'll go here and dress up for this event. Or maybe you'll meet this person. You see how that mind shift changes? You see how your self-core beliefs change? Now, Neville Goddard, who taught the law of assumption, really insisted and taught that the most important time to get into this feeling, the assumption of your wish fulfilled, or the assumption of that dream version of you, is right before you go to sleep. It's the state akin to sleep, or SATS. And the best thing to do is just sit up, because you don't want to fall asleep. You want to be conscious, because you're consciously creating that feeling, right? And do the exercise we did earlier, where I snap my fingers and you go into that reality. And you don't just watch from above, you are in it. You are seeing it from first person. You're experiencing the reality where you are fit, where you are wealthy, from first person. So you can walk around your house. You can touch things, smell things, have conversations with people. The more real you make this visualization, the more your subconscious mind is going to believe it. And we create from our subconscious mind. In quantum physics, they have proven that an observer affects the observed. That is proof. That's all you need to know. It's our consciousness that's affecting our reality. That is what that means. So when you consciously decide to focus on your inner world, those self-beliefs, those assumptions, and you focus on what it is you want. You stay persistent in that assumption that that is you now. Your reality cannot help but change, because that is how quantum physics works. And I hope that this message got through to you today, because it is such a powerful lesson to learn. And it's kind of out there. I know I'm trying to teach it so that you understand it. So let me know if it's that I'm doing my job here, because it is kind of hard to understand. I remember reading about the law of assumption and I was like, what? My inner world creates my reality? How are my thoughts having an effect on my reality? That sounds like voodoo stuff. But once you start practicing this, and you can start small, there's so many practices that you can do to prove this to yourself. But once you start realizing that this is true, you can manifest the life that you want. The life of your dreams is completely possible. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I truly hope that it was helpful for you, that you realize the power to manifesting is controlling your assumptions, to changing your self-beliefs or what you believe to be true. And I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video.